What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today, ETH USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, it is the 15th day of June. Here we are, 6 hours, 46 minutes left in the day, sitting at about $2,500 in this nice horizontal range here. I think if we draw some lines, you can see, we wick to the upside, sure, but typically you're finding resistance there. We wick to the downside, sure, but typically you're finding support here. Really, I mean, since May 11th, if you just bought at this low and sold at that high, you've probably had like 3 or 4 tradable opportunities that would have done you all right. I mean, what kind of percentage range is that even? I wonder. It's like, yeah, I mean, you could have killed it, man. That wouldn't have been bad at all. Just on a little range there. If you took it upon yourself to trade, these ranges are very tradable, and they're also very reliable whenever it comes to predicting the outcome. Right, I very much do believe that we're going to break out to the upside, because whenever you see a pattern like this form after a move like this is leading into it, you tend to continue in that direction, right? Just as you did here. Whenever we look at this, you moved up, you had a little horizontal channel here, and then you moved up as well, right? And you actually saw a larger move on this last move. That was a pretty fantastic move on Ethereum's part. I mean, from a relative low to the relative high, that was like a 56% move in like a week's time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days time, less than 10 days time, you saw a 56% move. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something on a similar kind of percentage growth between now and the end of next week. You know, the meat of this move was this 43% move here. I mean, from here, we're at $2,500 right now. Ethereum really could be, you guys, a whole $1,000 or more higher than what its current price is. Between now and the end of next week. Certainly by the end of the month, I think that we'll be there, right? We're at 2,500 now. I'm thinking 3,600, 4,000, whatever, something, anything and everything in that range. That's what's coming over the next week or two. It's possible that we're even higher than that. And if Ethereum's moving up that much, you guys, what's that going to imply for altcoins, right? Altcoins, Ethereum moves up 50%, altcoins will probably move up 100%, something like that, right? Or more. For looking at this from a high back on December 16th, 2024 to the low here from April 9th for Ethereum, high to low, you're consolidating right below this golden ratio zone here. I am expecting a very similar move to this whenever we go out, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not a 3-day move that takes us up here. Maybe it does take more time, and by the end of the month, we're up here. It's like the last week, the last days of the month that we're up in this area between $3,200 to $3,600. But typically, whenever you consolidate at the golden ratio like this, you do expect to find resistance around the 786, 886, in particularly bullish scenarios. You will go above the 886, and you'll find resistance between there and the 100 level, which is here. So I would say 41 to $3,200 by the end of the month of June. Probably closer to 4,000 than 3,000 by the end of June is what I would expect. Getting us set up for July to be spectacular, breaking out and seeing new all-time highs, you guys. I mean, we're literally, what are our all-time highs right now? There, let's see, hold on. All-time highs are at about, just under $5,000. There's no scenario that I see where Ethereum won't be at new all-time highs by the end of July. We're at least going to be at $5,500, if not higher than that. I'm expecting something around $7,000 to $8,000, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But I want to talk about the short-term stuff first. Okay, so just to give you where my head's at with Ethereum, what I'm thinking over the coming days, over the coming weeks, the next month or so. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Okay, short-term stuff. Talking about the days to come now. Okay, looking at the RSI and looking at this move that we've had. It started off, it kind of looked like you had a bear flag going on, right? You broke out though, and now you're moving sideways. You broke out, but the break isn't breaking, is it? You're kind of, I don't know. I mean, honestly, to be completely fair, you are in like a horizontal channel of your own. And with the same logic that I just gave you, I guess there's a strong chance that you could be moving down. However, bearish patterns in bullish trends, which we have a bullish trend now, higher lows and higher highs. Bearish patterns don't perform as well in bullish trends, and we actually saw that same thing here kind of happening, where we actually did end up moving higher, or that thing here, same thing happening and moving higher. So anytime we've seen this to the negative effect, we've actually moved up higher. I'm pretty confident we will move up higher. Looking at the RSI on the 1 hour time frame, you're getting deep into that overbought zone. You got pretty deep into the oversold zone too, but you're definitely living above the 50 more than you're living below the 50. Relatively speaking, that hasn't been the case, but it's the weekend. It's the weekend. Things are boring, low volume, all that stuff, right? We've got low volume right now. Whenever volume's at its low point, you tend to come to the end of your consolidation zone. We're in this consolidation zone now. Volume's at low points here. We're on Coinbase, the second biggest exchange in crypto around the world. I would think that this volume is very reliable. So that implies that a breakout is coming one way or the other very, very soon. I would think between now and the end of tomorrow, Monday the 16th, between now and then, because we're on the 1 hour time frame, right, I think that we'll have some resolution probably to the upside. I doubt we move to the downside. If we do that, oh man, the whole space is going to, we're going to move down over the next week, and that's just not what I'm anticipating to happen. I really do think we're actually set up to move higher. But the 1 hour RSI at the moment looks bullishly charged. Overall, kind of bearish right here in this zone, but overall, it's very bullish. I think we're looking constructive. Even if we come down by the end of today, I bet we bounce. We find a higher low right there. Getting into that overbought zone, you can see here the day. Monday should be a good day. When you get overbought, I mean, the last time that we got overbought, just looking at this, that's the move that we saw. I really wouldn't be surprised if if Monday was the day that we began breaking out of this horizontal channel, and if not Monday, Tuesday, right? We're probably going to do that. In correspondence with the idea of getting into the overbought zone on the 1 hour time frame, reflecting in a bullish prospect for the price. The 4 hour time frame is also geared up to get into the overbought zone. Man, very volatile stuff. Getting oversold, overbought, oversold, getting back into the overbought zone. Very, very volatile. But again, that's kind of been the name of the game for like the past month now for Ethereum. It's been very volatile and just tight in this kind of consolidation phase. I would expect that you go all the way up to the overbought zone here. And with the current trajectory, I don't know, let's just see. Let's just kind of draw. I just want to see, right, something like that. Something maybe like that. That seems like it's not at a high enough pitch, right? So something like that maybe, yeah. That would be Wednesday. Wednesday, right? Yeah. That's on Wednesday's day, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Monday, I think, will be recovering, right? Monday, Tuesday will be recovering. Wednesday or Tuesday will be breaking out. We'll be breaking out. So beginning of the week, recovering, moving up through this range. End of the week, we should be breaking out of this range, going in for Thursday, Friday being those kind of more large growth days. We should also probably get the daily RSI in the overbought zone too. So that's just, we're really set up for a bullish week next week, you guys. Let me get this high to low here real quick. Come on now. You know you want to. There we go. Is that the low? No, it's not the low. There we go. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it would very much, I'm very much expecting that we are going to the 786, 886. If not by the end of this coming week, which that would be by the 22nd of June, certainly by the end of the month we'll be up here, right? And again, that's $3,200 to $3,600 or higher. I think 4,100 is a perfect area to top off at by the end of this month, or lower. 41 to 3,600. I really like that area myself. But 3,200 at a minimum. And again, I think we'll be closer to $4,000 than $3,000 by the end of the month. It's the 15th now. We're halfway through the month. We got 6 hours left in this day. We quite literally are halfway through the month. So we're going to be pushing the resistance points, right? Going into the end of this month, we're going to be pushing the resistance points that we've had all cycle. There's no such thing as a quadruple top, you guys. There's no such thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, triple top, sure. There's no such thing as a quadruple top. It doesn't exist. So no matter what we do, we reject, we consolidate, whatever, it's inevitable that we're going to break out, yeah? And we probably don't even reject that long. We probably just break right through. The more that you test these areas, the more likely you are to break out. That's just kind of the name of the game there. You did reject the overbought zone here on the daily RSI. Typically, when you do that, you look to find support around the 50 or the 40. We're right in between both of those areas now. Boom, looking to go up. It makes a lot of sense to me. Finding support here at prior areas of resistance back here, looking super bullish right now. Definitely changing gears to the bullish effect for Ethereum. I want to look at the weekly time frame, and now let's talk about going to new all-time highs, right? High to low, from your last cycle's high to your bear market low. You hit the 886, triple top right there, all the way down to your 382, 236 area. Crazy stuff, man. Back to your golden ratio, you move up. Again, even this 786, 886 area agrees with what I'm saying. The same kind of area. That's the next target area, if not higher. We certainly will be around this zone, but like our cycle highs, by the end of June. Going into July, I'm expecting some fireworks to fly. Not just on the 4th of July, you guys, but going into the end of July, we're probably going to be at about $7,700 to $8,000, something around there, or higher. I have a large amount of curiosity with Ethereum right now in the aspect of, am I not bullish enough? Because the answer is probably yes, right? A lot of us have some PTSD when it comes to Ethereum. It's been very disappointing this cycle. We're not used to it surprising us and being exciting, right? We're not used to this kind of growth, that kind of mechanic or dynamic in the markets, right? What if we do see Ethereum rise all the way up to $10,000 by the end of July? How crazy would that be, man? That would be absolutely insane. I'm not calling for that myself. I'm just accepting it as a possibility. It is a target area, and of course, inevitably, we'll get there. We'll go higher. I think $14,000 to $22,000 by the end of this year is what we're looking for Ethereum. But I think something around $7,700 to $8,000 is very appropriate. That's the minimum target from our bull cycle high to our bear cycle low. That's also, if we look at this high here to this low here, that's also where our golden ratio is right there, the 1,618 just above there. It's very common if you stop at the 1,414 to go just above it. So there is a case scenario where we stop just below the 1,272. Which is at $7,700. So maybe something between $7,000 to $8,000, no matter what we're looking at. I feel like that actually just makes the most sense. We're at $2,500 now. If Ethereum, what I'm implying here, if you're catching on to it, right, what I'm saying here is that Ethereum is going to see something on the lines of a 3x move between now and like the next 6 weeks. What does that mean for the average altcoin? Double it, triple it, quadruple it. Some of them 10 times it. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see some crazy growth across the markets. One of my favorite things, or I don't know if I should say that, one of the things that made me happy today, and I read the comments, like to read the comments before I start these videos and just see what you guys are thinking, what you're saying in regards to certain things. My altcoin video, whenever I said alt season is starting yesterday, that one got a lot of attention, and I was reading the comments through there. This is the first time that I've called for alt season that I saw these kind of comments where everybody's saying, it's not happening. We're never going to get an alt season. We might get a run up, but it's not going to be alt season. Alt season isn't coming. This whole cycle where alt season's been a meme, everybody's been calling for it left and right. I've called for it a couple times. This is my third time. Third time's the charm, hopefully. Whenever people are discouraged and in disbelief that it's going to happen, that's actually statistically like the most likely that it will happen. Herd mentality tends to be wrong. The herd is led to the slaughter. And if most of you are not assuming that we're going to get an alt season, that we're just going to get a little pump up and then we're going to consolidate again, that sets you up for some failure, man. It really does. Because if you're thinking that we just get a little pump up for 1 or 2 weeks, we get a move and then we're done, some people are probably going to take profits and sell. That creates a very, very bullish environment where when the price continues to move up unexpectedly and you're out of the market because you sidelined yourself, now you're going to FOMO back in. You're effectively buying in, or you have the price at a good price. You sell at a good price. Maybe you take profits, but the price keeps going higher. You're going to buy back in and cause some bullish momentum and send that price even higher and potentially even be the exit liquidity at the top for some people, unfortunately. I don't think, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I don't think anybody has any business selling. I don't think that we're anywhere near the end of this cycle. I'm not selling. My bags, man, they're packed. I'm not touching anything. I'm just letting it play out. Even if I'm convinced that we're going to top off, and I am convinced that we'll see probably a momentary high in the end of July going into August, but I don't think that we should be playing this game, man. What if it's more bullish than expected, right? And I think what we're setting ourselves up for, what I saw in the comments is we're going to be more bullish than expected. I don't think a lot of people are expecting this to be as glorious as it is. But again, I tell you, man, if we're moving up, if Ethereum's going to do a 3x, what's the average coin going to do? If the whole market, the average coin's moving up 300, like, dude, that's more bullish than we've seen all cycle. What is it other than alt season? Of course it's alt season, man. And then, of course, something else that like highlighted that in yesterday's video was the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, just showing the precise double bottom that we have here, right? Might be more obvious on a monthly time frame. Precise double bottom that you have right there. If this was a parabolic move to the upside, right, like this, I would expect a rapid. You normally, with parabolic moves, you normally get a V-shaped recovery, but to the downside. Here, to the upside, right? That's where cup and handles come from, right? It's like that. Does this mean that we have to go up to see new all-time highs? No. But whenever Ethereum versus Bitcoin bottoms out, whenever we're growing here week after week, month after month, that's when alt season happens. It's the same thing as like the Bitcoin dominance dropping, right? And Bitcoin dominance does look like it wants to drop as well, but I digress. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. I've said it all, so I'll probably just end it there. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. $2,500 now, $7,000 to $8,000 later. Bye-bye.